I make the right choice. I feel bad. I love it.
Paris Hilton recently claimed that she loves being a mother to her two babies, Phoenix and London. But it's hard to believe that's how she truly feels. Her parenting style is super detached, and she seemingly only interacts with her kids when it's convenient for her. It seems like Paris is actually starting to regret becoming a mom, and the reasons why are honestly insane.
So real and happening at such a fast pace.
Just recently, Paris shared a surprising quote to her Instagram story. Interestingly, it stated, "Never regret any experience in your life because it is always meant to bring you balance." Considering what she's been revealing while doing press lately, the quote is extremely telling. During a new interview with CNN, Paris was asked what the most challenging part of motherhood has been for her.
Just balancing it all. Because I'm a working mom. I have a crazy schedule.
For months, Paris has been repeating almost the exact same statements in nearly all of her interviews. She usually says that her children make her feel complete and that she works so unbelievably much. But she also claims that she's getting better at balancing her career and her home life.
I am learning to say no and just trying to spend as much time as possible with my little ones.
But ever since season 2 of Paris in Love was released last November, it seems like she's been trying to do damage control. One of the reasons why she seemingly regrets becoming a mother is because of the intense scrutiny she's been under throughout the last few months. Paris has spent the last couple of years marketing her rebrand in her return to both the spotlight and the headlines. Her comeback was boosted by her reality show, her memoir, and her multiple new collections and brand lines. But whenever she's been discussed on social media lately, it hasn't really been positive. Countless people have been dragging Paris online for her incredibly uninvolved parenting. Paris in Love, especially the second season, has been exposing just how absent she actually is from her son's life. On the show, it seemed like Paris barely interacted with Phoenix. When he was a month old, she revealed to her sister, Nikki, that she hadn't even changed one of his diapers yet. She didn't appear to have a problem with letting the nanny essentially raise Phoenix, and her excuse was seriously crazy. Paris mentioned several times that she wanted to spend more time with her baby boy, but she basically claimed that she couldn't do anything about her limited interactions with Phoenix because she had to work. Not surprisingly, that was one of the controversial moments that caused her to get so much negative feedback from viewers. Paris said that she was only able to visit Phoenix in his nursery for maybe an hour every day because of her hectic work schedule. But let's be real, she's a multi-billionaire. She clearly didn't have to work that much, but she was choosing to be away from Phoenix anyway. Paris struggled with taking accountability for certain things, like her lack of involvement and connection with her babies. But she more than likely regretted filming so many scenes that showed her looking and acting completely uninterested and detached from her son. In an attempt to shake some of the extreme criticism she was facing for being an absent mother, she made a bizarre revelation. She publicly announced in several interviews that she had learned to say no to working as much. She even added that she had been spending that time with her babies instead. But it's obvious that Paris is mainly concerned about saving her public image because her story has constantly been changing. She's been saying that she only recently learned how to balance her home life with work, but what she told People magazine last June about her top priority was totally different. Paris revealed that she had been saying no to so many work opportunities because she wanted to spend as much time as she could with her baby. She added that her priorities had changed since becoming a mother, and she was allegedly always putting Phoenix first. Not to mention, Paris had previously proven that she knew how to say no to job offers, and she had even taken long periods of time away from work. From December 2021 to January 2022, she and Carter went on a 7-week-long extravagant honeymoon. Paris obviously knows how to say no to work. She just doesn't really want to unless she can spend that time vacationing instead. But lately, more and more of her Instagram followers have been pointing out that she still seems to go on a lot of kid-free mini trips and getaways. Paris will most likely just end up saying whatever she thinks people want to hear to try to take some of the heat off of her. But there's another reason why she seems to regret being a mom, and it's honestly unbelievable. It's no secret that Paris has always been a little self-centered. Also, the startling amount of giant portraits of her that are hanging on the walls in her house is a good indication that she might have some narcissistic traits. So the idea of having to sacrifice any of her time or independence for other people, even her own kids, might be extremely off-putting to her. However, most parents know that sacrificing their freedom or any other aspects of their life before they had kids is just part of the job. Paris doesn't seem like she wants to change her jet jet-setting, bustling lifestyle for her babies, but what will end up happening if she keeps everything the exact same is seriously insane. If Paris doesn't make any changes for her kids, she's going to continue getting a ton of backlash for her parenting, and eventually her reputation will most likely suffer. But Paris seemingly isn't happy about making any changes to her life that aren't self-serving, even if it benefits her kids. That was incredibly clear during a couple of scenes from the second season of Paris in Love, when she spoke to a therapist about the struggles she faced as a parent. Paris claimed that she wanted to be a better mother for her babies than what she experienced as a child with her own mom. But even though that sounded admirable, she didn't even seem to have a legitimate emotional connection with her son. And when Paris's lack of involvement with Phoenix was hinted at, she desperately tried to avoid taking accountability.
I wish I could spend every minute with you. Mommy used to work so hard.
In response to Paris's ridiculous excuse, her therapist said that she could easily reframe that. So instead of accepting that Phoenix wouldn't see her much at all, she could try to change her perspective. The therapist asked Paris if maybe because she had been so successful at a young age, she could take a little bit of time away from work to be a mom. Since money wasn't actually an issue, she could try to rearrange her schedule and spend more time with her son. Paris didn't look thrilled with the idea, but before she could disagree with it, her therapist asked another important question. She wanted to know about Phoenix's social interactions and if Paris had set up any playdates for him with other kids around his age. Paris revealed that her cousins, her sister, and every other parent she knew had been meeting up for playdates for their kids. Apparently, they had been going to music classes and mommy and me activities with their children as well. But what Paris claimed had been preventing her from taking Phoenix to those classes and activities was truly bizarre.
I don't have time to do any of those things, so...
Once again, her therapist came up with a solution and asked her if she had considered having one of the groups meet at her house. Paris said that she had already thought about that option, but of course, she had an unbelievable reason for not actually doing it.
But then I also get nervous with him being around so many people because he's so little that he'll get sick.
Paris obviously hadn't stopped traveling and making appearances for work, and she was around huge groups of people all the time. But that didn't seem to be an issue for her, even though she was regularly being exposed to a lot of germs that could also make Phoenix sick. It honestly seems like Paris's regrets about being a mom were strong enough to make her not want to form a real connection with her baby. But that might also be related to another reason why she appears to be remorseful over becoming a parent, and it's absolutely unreal. Paris had previously explained to her therapist that her mom was basically never really there for her, and their relationship had been pretty strained for a while. But that's when her therapist pointed out a concerning pattern.
You've given up authority to the baby nanny.
She also revealed that if Paris continued to let the nanny take over all of Phoenix's care, he would end up having attachment issues just like her. Finally, the therapist asked her who she wanted her son to grow up feeling closer to.
Do you want the nanny to be the primary attachment figure, or do you want to be the primary attachment?
Paris responded that she would try to figure out how to better balance her work with her home life. But based on her latest social media post about her different lines launching soon, it doesn't look like she scaled back on her packed work schedule after all. Paris will obviously do whatever she feels is best, but hopefully somebody is looking out for her children's best interest as well. Maybe she'll be able to process and heal the emotional pain from her own childhood soon, so that her kids don't struggle like she did. Unfortunately, if Paris's regrets about becoming a mother keep growing stronger, her uninvolved parenting probably won't improve anytime soon. But now that we've gotten into the bizarre reasons why she feels remorseful about parenting, I want to know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on Paris claiming that her kids make her feel complete, even though she doesn't spend nearly as much time with them as she should? Do you think she will ever actually decrease her workload enough to form healthy bonds with her children? Let me know in the comments below.